Okay. Dear colleagues, dear friends, hello everyone. I'm glad to see that this Congress not just had the highest number of participants during the scientific events, but also, I'm sure, the highest number at a closing ceremony. Thank you for coming, and I have to say that it has been a really pleasure to be here on an active week, so many things to do, scientific, field trips, exhibitions, and lots of things. And I would like, and we have to thank Daniel Hunkeler and his team, or everybody who helped that this happens, including students. So a big applause, please, for the Swiss Organizing Committee. I hope you had the chance to exchange new ideas, or not necessarily new ideas, to talk about projects, and also not about hydrogeology, but non-hydrogeological things, make new friendships, look for new potential cooperations for the future. Everything went so smoothly. You know, Daniel promised or said at the opening ceremony, okay, now we have rain, it will be even more rain, but on the field trips, we will have a sunny day, and that's how it happened. We had a fantastic day on Wednesday, excellent, and now it's winter, it's snowing. So everything was as it expected, and everything went smoothly, but what we expect, you know, we are in Switzerland, so the clock works perfectly. So many of you have to catch the first shuttle, so we have to keep the time. And after thanking the Swiss, there is another person we have to thank from IAH. IAH centrally, we always have somebody who helps the coordination with the local organizing committee. And at this time, it was Marco Petita. So Marco, please stand up and answer. Thank you, Marco. Now I would like to ask Janis to say a few words about Peter Hungerberger. Maybe this one.
It's the other one. No? Yes, this one. Okay. It's good. No. Okay. Yes, on the 7th of June this year, our former boss, Peter Huggenberger, passed away, and in Switzerland, I think he was well known, but also abroad, and Peter has made a lasting impact in various areas of research, being it in applied geology, hydrogeology in general, but also above all in the connection with social relevant issues of resource management and protection. He was a pioneer in using hydrogeophysical investigations to investigate the deposits of rivers and river bars, and I think he will be unforgettable, and will remain. His incredible enthusiasm will be unforgettable, and also his big heart and enthusiasm and empathy. After his retirement in 2019, actually, he wanted to travel and work on different development projects. Then came Corona, more and more health problems, and then he left us far earlier than it should have been. Thank you for your attention.
Unfortunately, not just Peter Hungerberger passed away, but several other colleagues passed away in the recent past. Just a few names: Emilio Costidio, Eric Romain, or Ghislaine Marcellet, and many others. We can't name them all, but we should remember, and please stand up for a minute of silence. Thank you. And now, let's proceed to the awards. Something exciting, always. And IAH presents every year an award called Distinguished Associate Awards to those who made a special contribution to hydrogeology and to groundwater profession, but for those who are not hydrogeologists and those who help understanding what goes on in the development and protection of groundwater. And this year, we present the award to Raphaël Aubert, Christopher Flavel, and Mira Rojan-Sakul. And we have the pleasure to have here in person Raphaël Aubert from Le Monde. They carried out an investigative publication, research on groundwater contamination. So please, Raphaël, please, on the stage. Thank you very much. And now I would like to call Stephanie to present the awards for the best oral and poster presentation.
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank everybody who played along, because we had a lot of participants, more than 180, and with very good grades. So thanks a lot to the chairs who also played along and helped us organizing this. So the best oral presentation this year goes to Davide Furlanetto from the University of Padova in Italy, for his talk about coping with structural uncertainty in a complex multi-layer aquifer system that was described as perfectly executed and visually excellent. Davide, if you are around, please come to the stage. While hopefully Davide is coming, I'll continue because we had two other talks that stood out. The first one was from Azadullah Farahman from the Ministry of Energy and Water of Afghanistan, for his talk about hydrogeological evolution and groundwater quality assessment in the Herat Plain aquifer in Afghanistan.
Thank you very much.
And the second talk that stood out also was the one from Jita Lestari-Putri from the University of Technology in Sydney about the impacts of climate variability on fecal contamination from on-site sanitation system in shallow groundwater. Okay, now let's move to the best poster presentation. The best poster presentation goes to Courtney Killian from the USGS for her work about machine learning predictions of groundwater salinity across the contiguous United States. Her science and aesthetics were described as excellent. And a second poster also stood out, the one from Elisa Mamoliti from the March University, Polytechnic University, about her work on advancement in assessing fracture hydraulic conductivity, integrated permeability tests, and discrete fracture networks to the laboratory scale. And with that, we will move to the presentation of next year Congress.
So the most important takeaway from the Mountain Cryosphere groundwater session, I think, was that we're very certain that mountain groundwater will change in the future and the climate change. However, in many regions we simply don't know which direction this change will be, whether groundwater will increase or decrease, and the implications of this for stream flow are really crucial that as a community of hydrogeologists we address this challenge to provide this information to decision makers to develop robust adaptation strategies.
Well, we learned that in nearly all countries around the world there are severe groundwater problems that need hydrogeologists to address them. And in nearly all countries there's a lack of hydrogeologists and a lack of educational opportunities. But fortunately, what we learned, which was I think most important, was when you look around the globe and you ask the question, there are many countries that have well-educated hydrogeologists, and everything to do with hydrogeology is in fact well-organized and well-funded. And the answer is there are such examples, and we can use them, and we need to find them, to frame them properly, so that everybody around the world knows that if you want success, you can have, if you can discover and establish the resources.
The topic of the session was reversing the trend of depletion of groundwater resources in national and transboundary aquifers. So definitely was very much interesting to look at how the lack of capacity of science to talk to policymakers and to come in the international diplomatic agenda on water resources was really clearly shared by all analysts and the next day.
I guess it was very important to see what lessons we learned during the last decades, 30 years and so on. So there was a lot of progress in terms of groundwater remediation technologies, but even more important, also monitoring technologies, subsurface characterization and so on, and this all will help us to prevent hopefully contaminations in the future and also to manage the already existing pollutions in the long term.
I think our session emphasized or confirmed the importance of projects like geothermal energy, heat storage, and CO2 sequestration. It emphasizes really the complexity of enacting those measures. So the main message seems to be the need for data to support careful planning, decision making, to make sure these technologies work for the future.
Our session was on the state of groundwater research, so
The key message I think that came out of our session was that the future of groundwater research is vibrant, but that we need to be, I think, smarter about the problems that we tackle. So a good forecast for the future of groundwater research. Certainly what came through loudly was the need for different methodologies and techniques and tools for collecting data, more data. We also touched on communication, that we have a lot more work to do on communicating confidently and boldly as a groundwater community.
I do not seem to be able to switch back. Okay. Thank you, Stephanie. Now, to echo Daniel's words from the introduction, the remarkable participation in this event is a testament to the strong momentum of our community. With the over 1,100 participants from 85 countries and more than 50 sessions, this has truly been a global and engaging event. The high quality of the presentations, the insightful posters, and the lively discussions in the hallways have clearly demonstrated the depth of expertise and enthusiasm within our field. These contributions have not only highlighted the latest developments in hydrogeology, but also sparked meaningful conversation that will surely go beyond this event. This gathering has also shown that our community is vibrant, that our community is growing and deeply committed to advancing the frontiers of our discipline. It's been a very inspiring experience, and I want to thank each and every one of you for coming here, for participating, and for sharing your knowledge. The work we do has profound impact on people's lives, the environment, and future generation. And this conference has been a wonderful showcase of this shared purpose. Now, I would really like to say one or two words about Daniel. Daniel had this vision to have the IAH 2024 in Switzerland many, many years ago, and he was tirelessly dedicated to bring it here. Now, his leadership, his determination, and the ability to inspire have been the driving forces behind the success of this event. And really what makes Daniel a truly inspirational person was not only that he wanted the Congress to run and that it is okay, Daniel was continuously thinking about how to improve it, how to come up with new events, how to make this a nice and very successful event. So Daniel, as always, it's been a great pleasure working with you. Can you please come up to the stage? So, Daniel, a big round of applause, I think, for Daniel on stage. Thank you. So I'll pass over to you.
So thank you, Philip. And I would just like hand over the thanks to those that really did a lot of the hard work. I think this Congress has only been possible thanks to the involvement of many of you are here today. And I will ask you to come on stage then at the end. So I just go through the really long list and the contribution of many, and I already apologize to those that I forget. I mean, also starting with the sponsors and supporters. I mean, they made a major contribution to make this happen and make it also financially feasible. They were also very enthusiastic. We got very positive feedback, and they were really very happy about all the discussions and exchange they had in the nice long corridor. Among the sponsors and supporters, what was very important is the support also from UNESCO, Swiss Agency of Development and Cooperation, and IAH that made it possible to support many applicants. And this was really exciting for us to be able actually to have some people even here today that were very, very keen to come and that has struggled to come. Just an example here, we have Alina here in the front row. I think she's a really good example. I was really impressed by her determination. And what was really amazing actually, just among many others, she actually also proposed the session. She had a very proactive role and she carried it through. She chaired the session, she organized that. It was really amazing. It's really great to have so young, talented people from all over the world to join. Some were invited speakers and so on. So this support is greatly acknowledged. Then what was in the early phase, when we go through a bit also chronologically, the support of former Congress organizers is always very important, and there we had especially strong support from Brussels 21, from Olivier Langeau, who has already left. I still remember a call we had. He was the head of the organizing committee, and we asked him how much time he devoted as a head of the organizing committee, the cumulative work time, and he told us 1 year. Then we took a deep breath and had a lot of second thoughts. And so we said, no way, this can be done shorter, but maybe with the help at the university, the staff, but I mean, maybe he wasn't so far off, so, but that definitely was an advanced warning to reserve a lot of time, especially for the final phase, that was really important. Then we had a lot of support from the IAH Executive Committee all the way, from the IAH Secretary, from Ian, Emma, Olivia, Jane, and all the others, and especially also from Marco Petita. I think this was really great to have him as an advisor because he ran a very successful conference that was almost similar in size. So he gave us some good advice in crowd management and make sure everything gets done smooth. Going through for the organization, it's clear the local chapter of the IAH here, represented by the Swiss Society of Hydrogeology, was very important too. It was great to see that we had a very active involvement of many members. We had 240 Swiss hydrogeologists here, many members. I think it's a really amazing turnout. And they were they made proposal for session. I mean, they were central for the excursions. It was only possible to have 700 people visiting some of these great sites. This is all projects of Swiss hydrogeologists, companies, many companies, that with a lot of pride and enthusiasm showed what they're doing in alpine hydrogeology. I think they had a very essential contribution, even if not all of them were on the labels of the sponsors. Then, of course, the organizing committee is central to go together on an adventure, a bit in the unknown. And so we had a really good team with Stefanie Wirth, Olga Darras, Seraina Kauer, Michael Sinreich, so this was certainly a key element. Then there is, of course, always the scientific committee that was very international, that helped really shape the event with all the 50 sessions. And here especially thank also the head of the scientific committee, Philipp Brunner, that get a really strong involvement. And we have many memorable weekends and evenings spent together trying to figure out how we fit 1,200 abstracts in a week and get the plenary lined up. But so everybody also from Switzerland, from the local, we had really all the major institutions in hydrogeology involved. We had a very global coverage in the scientific committee that is really, was very central for the success of this event. Then what you saw all along the week early career hydrogeologists were involved all the way and played a role in many steps. And as a representative, the Swiss link was ensured by Stéphanie Musi, and I think I'm really thank her a lot for her active role in making connections to all other hydrogeologists, young hydrogeologists around the world. And what was really amazing that we had also the UNESCO Groundwater Youth, we had the Swiss Water Partnership, we had really this massive dynamics all of a sudden of young hydrogeologists going in. It was really a wave of support. But then I want to really thank all the contributors to this conference that really ran the show. This is the panelists, the session chairs, the invited speakers, the poster presenter, the focus event organizers, and so on. Because in a way, we just all coordinated this. That was our task, but you ran the show. We just made sure you have the framework. And so thanks to you, you provided all the amazing and incredible content and this incredible science. And I think what was really also great here that we had also science, but we had really the interface from science to policy. We're really happy that we have a lot of people from NGOs, Le Monde and others. I think we need more of this. That came also out of the panel of Craig Simmons to have an impact beyond our scientific community. Then, to have it run so smooth, there were a lot of people involved in the background. And so, a strategic decision we made when we organized this conference was not to hire a PCO. And I don't know whether you know what a PCO is, but when you run such an event, you learn a lot of new words and slang related to the organization of events. What is a PCO? It's a professional congress organizers. Because what we thought that hydrogeologists, they're very talented people, and the staff of hydrogeology institutes that know how the brains work of hydrogeologists, they actually predetermined to organize congresses. Why? It has to do with the nature of hydrogeologists, and now we can be proud again of what we are. What are we? We're a very versatile species because we work on many different things that we need to bring together. We are hands-on, or maybe better, boots-on, and get it going in the field, get it in our hands. We're very adaptable, because when you do a borehole, you never get what you expect, and you have to adapt. And finally, as hydrogeologists, we can imagine the unimaginable. And when you venture into organizing a conference, you have to imagine the unimaginable. And so, but as the Congress started to grow, sometimes we thought we got a bit overconfident and had some second thought to think hydrogeologists can do that. And so that it still stayed on track. Why did it still stay on track? It was thanks to this really unwavering dedication of the Congress staff, most of them member of the staff of the Center for Hydrogeology and Geothermics of the University of Neuchâtel that know how the brains of hydrogeologists work. Some of them have been around for 30 years. And so I would just like to mention a few, and especially most of all, Sabine Erb. I mean, everybody will come on stage, but I mean, without her, I mean, her dedication was amazing. And the extra hours she put in, she responded on weekends every time. And it was amazing during the vacation and everything. I mean, without her, you wouldn't have had lunch today, probably. And so this was really incredible, the work and dedication and passion she put in. But then there was also many on her side, Nathalie Chalande, that did a lot of tasks to events that you probably many of you were in contact with her. Laurent Mariguet, Roberto Costa, they did a lot of the logistics. James and Said. James you saw in the videos, he did a lot of the video Mentimeter work. Said helped a lot with the programming, was always available on Sunday morning, no time when. Christine and Mathilde. Then we were very happy to have a big support of the university services, legal services, so we didn't have to pay lawyers, because that was actually quite surprising how many regulations and rules and stuff, legal stuff you need to do when you organize a conference. That was actually one of the surprises, condition of cancellation, condition of sponsors, so on. Then financial, we had the financial support, we had the media, some of the people are here with Igor, Nando, Diliana, Mario, and also the rectorate that was actually they were really confident that we can carry it through without getting broke. I mean, we would have gotten broke ourselves, so the rectorate was confident if this is the case, we do it. So the students were amazing, the red T-shirts. I mean, that was amazing. 30 master students that ran much of the show were there in the session rooms, on the excursion, loading buses. It was really amazing, and just one of them I will point out, also Jeremy Chapuis, who was very proactive and coordinated a lot of the things, but there are a lot of others that coordinated. And I think that shows also hydrogeology students become very versatile early on and can do many tasks, and it was interesting to discover the talents of many. I think such an event is really to uncover talents that people didn't even realize they had, and that are also going beyond hydrogeology. Then I would also thank Nicolas Österreicher and Elio Berda, they were the video team. It was amazing what they put together, this movie. I mean, already Craig Simmons, that was just sitting there, was nicely, seamlessly integrated. I mean, he did a really amazing job. Then I would like to thank also the crews of the networking events in the evenings, the amazing choice they put together. This is amazing, the offer they put together. This was Rahel, Elena, and Morgan. I mean, they were just, I want to do it, and they were so excited to show you, get you out of the Congress Center and show you what is around it. Then I would also like to thank the Davos Congress, which was really very much a pleasure to work with. I already mentioned it. When we had the people coming down the ropes on yesterday, and I thought, I don't quite dare to ask, can we have somebody here come down the rope? But no problem. So this is really amazing. Another important contact was the hockey club. This was really amazing, the hockey. Patrick Bumi, to convince them to do the icebreaker on the ice, and also to have a hockey game specifically programmed for us. And it was amazing. They counted the number of spectators. For the U17 team, there was 651, which is the new record here. We are record-setting in every respect. And what was also interesting, I talked with the Congress organizers. I had a lot of pleasure organizing congresses with us, because they do a lot of medical and business congresses, and they said, no, you wouldn't even think organizing a hockey game. I mean, that wouldn't be. So they really appreciated working with you together and being so easygoing. So with that, I hope I've covered most, and if I forgot somebody, just my apologies, but now I really ask you to come on stage, all Marco, the helpers, the staff, for a round of applause. Please don't hesitate. Get up, Sabine, all the helpers, the organizing team, Olga. So, Nicolas. if there's still people here that guided excursions, please come also on stage. So it's, you see all the big effort. Move a bit in, maybe. So it is a big Congress center, but the stage is almost too small. So maybe our photographers have already left, but we appreciate if we can do a picture with you. Okay. So thank you all for your help in making this happen. So thanks. Let's move. Another applause. Amazing. So I think now we go to the next phase. I mean, so we're very happy now to have, we're very pleased also by the very large Australian participation. And so it's really a great moment, you know, to hand over the bottle like here. So we, you know, Stephanie, you can. So we know that many of you know the history of the bottle. You know, it started, I think, in Belgium. So there is water from previous conferences in there. We emptied out and we got Davos water, really the local water. Some of you visited the springs on the excursion, and so it is all in your hands now.
Okay. Great. So thank you very much, Daniel. Clearly it takes a massive team effort to bring these things about. My name's Ben Hall. I'm helping organise the next Congress. And so it's been great to have some of the other team members here from the committee, Tara and Kelly. We are super excited to be hosting the next Congress in Melbourne on the 15th to the 19th of September 2025. Hopefully you've had a chance to pick up one of the little koalas that have been given out during the Congress. If not, you can scan the QR code up on the slides. You can register your interest in attending the Congress, and then we'll be able to provide you directly updates with calls for abstracts and these sorts of things. So please do that. Congratulations to Daniel and Philip and the rest of the team for really delivering a great Congress. It's been super enjoyable. We've been learning lots, asking lots of questions and trying to pick up as much as we can to deliver a successful Congress next time around. When we get to September next year, we'll be coming into spring in Melbourne. This is a wonderful time to be in Melbourne. People are starting to come out of their winter hibernation, enjoying all the cultural enjoyments of the city, and we can certainly guarantee that there'll be no snow in September next year in Melbourne.
Things to look forward to in Melbourne. We have secured a wonderful conference centre that's located right on the banks of the Yarra River in Melbourne CBD. We've established our technical committee and an exciting technical program is coming together. And we have a list of excursions already planned that include things like historical gold mining districts, significant groundwater surface water interaction sites, and a novel isotopic fingerprinting of local wineries, which will include some tasting.
So we look forward to seeing you all in Melbourne in 1 year and 2 days' time, exactly. Please register your interest. Like Ben said, you can Google IEH 2025 and our website is up and running. So please have a think about planning your travel, getting there early, staying back late in Australia, seeing the wonderful things Australia has to offer. And please enjoy this little video we've put together for you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much. And can we have Peter up here now from Hungary? And he will talk about something else.
May I need some?
Did you close it?
Thank you. Dear conference participants, on the name of the Hungarian National Chapter, I am pleased to invite all of you to the World Groundwater Conference, which will be held in Budapest 2 years later in 2026. This is a great honor for the community of the Hungarian geologists to organize and to host this wonderful event. So the conference will be organized in Budapest, which is the capital of Hungary. This is a beautiful and wonderful city at the river Danube. Budapest is an easy-to-reach destination for everybody, and Budapest is also known for its famous spas, hot springs, thermal water resources, and karstic caves. And the countryside can also provide many interesting hydrogeological features. So the organization committee has already started the work after the decision of the council. So we would like to also organize a wonderful event. We are waiting for you in Budapest 2 years later. See you in 2026. Thank you very much. And I would like to pass the floor to Daniel to close the conference. Thank you.
Sorry, Daniel, but I just have to assure that the last applause is really going to you, because you mentioned everyone helping and contributing to the success of this Congress. But as you all realized, Daniel was not only the head manager of this Congress. He was the mastermind behind. He was somehow the brain, the heart, but also he was running the legs and arms of this conference. And so I would really like, on behalf of the Swiss National Chapter, but most probably on behalf of all of you, sincerely thank Daniel. And Daniel, this success of the Congress is also your personal success. And thank you very much for this.
So it's always quite hard to say goodbye, especially when you have such a pleasant and diverse and fruitful interaction. I think it's actually really a bit almost a sad moment. I think, as I said in the beginning, our strategy is that it feels like we have been this plan where you feel like we've been a year together, but I think you can feel like we've almost been half a year together, because when we started on Saturday, it was still summer, and now it's really winter. You almost feel like you have to think about Christmas present, no? So this was really amazing to be together that long, and so even it could have been longer. I'm sure we could have still a lot to tell each other and exchange. But we were very honored by your amazing attendance from around the globe. This was, I mean, an extreme honor to have you here in Davos, that you make all the way, the difficult way to high altitude, all the way to Davos. That was a really great pleasure. Our priority was always that you go back with a big smile, lasting memories, and a lot of inspiration for future collaboration and work. And we hope that we reach these objectives. I mean, for sure I saw a lot of smiles, but I think hopefully also the other objectives we reached. And we got a lot of feedback, but we are keen also to get more feedback of how to like the conference, what we proposed. So we're going to do very shortly, we send you a small post-conference survey to see also what we can learn from this conference. And what was really great about IH, we teamed up with the Australian organizer, so it's going to be a post-conference and a pre-conference survey at the same time, so we can still have some input, what you would like to see next year in Australia. With that, I would wish you really a safe trip. We had some snow, but there's no snow on the roads, no ice on the roads, so this should be safe to go back. And see you the latest, maybe before, but for sure the latest in Australia.